All right, welcome on in. I think I have everything running fine. Um, it's hard to tell. I'm just using the iPad at the moment, running the Moblin app with an Action 4 camera here that's connected via USB cable to a dock. That way I'm able to utilize the USB webcam mode from the Action 4 and do something like this. So later on today, a group of us will be heading towards a place called Nightmares, which is a walkthrough, spooky type environment. And instead of me using the Action 4 for tonight's event, I'm planning to use the X3000, which is this camera here. A much better camera to utilize during nighttime, and I'll be using the Radza Rock 5B Plus encoder board. Now, I want to try and configure my A6300 with the 16mm 1.4 lens, and also utilize my dual HDMI switcher, so I'm able to switch between the camera that I have here. This will be mounted on my shoulder, and I'll most likely be hand holding this facing towards me to get a reaction shot. But whilst during my travel into the Philippines, I had to remove a lot of gear in order to get my weight under the baggage limit. So I've went out earlier today to a store and bought a few items to hopefully get this camera set up to be able to utilize for tonight's event. All right, let's go to the Action 4. Again, this here is the Radza Rock 5B Plus. This here is the Sony A6300. And this is the dual HDMI camera switcher. Now, some items that I purchased for tonight, because the majority of tonight will be very dimly lit, I bought a LED light. This is a Ulanzi mini light that's apparently USB-C powered, so I'll get this charged up. Oh, hang on, I need to switch back to the SIM card here in the Philippines before I use up all my data for roaming. All right, so I need to get this camera configured to utilize for tonight. Now, let me just quickly see why we have auto. Oh yeah. Done. Confirm. Okay. Just changed some settings on the Action 4, so it looks a lot brighter and color corrected with the rest of my front-facing camera of the iPad. Okay, so first thing I need to do is to get this installed. This is a micro HDMI to full-size HDMI adapter from SmallRig. So it does come with some tools and some bolts that I can attach to the side of the camera. So the side of the camera here has a HDMI, micro HDMI port. I will attach this in a way where it will be attached like that, and get the HDMI adapter somehow facing in a direction that I would prefer. And I bought another item as well, in case this, now that I see it, this doesn't reach. This here is a HDMI clamp. So let's get started. Again, it does come with some tools, Allen keys, and some bolts. This clamp, excuse me, if I have read it correctly, will attach to a cage, and you are able to then use this clamp mechanism to clamp down onto the HDMI cable to prevent it from shifting around. Now, this was designed for a different camera, but I don't see why I couldn't adapt it to something like what I'm doing right now. And this might be the best case in this situation like this, while at the same time having this maybe attached to the top of the cage. All right, let's get this started. Let's open up some of these tools and bolts. Okay, so put them on the floor, because at least I know they're full of rubbish. All right, so yeah, this might be the better way. All right, let's see if we can get this one bolt started. Cliff, welcome on in. I am tinkering on some equipment to try and hopefully get this camera to be used for tonight's IRL stream. So I've decided the action fall isn't going to cut it, unfortunately, in tonight's event, because it's going to be too dark. So I'm going to use my Sony X3000 camera, and I'm going to utilize my dual HDMI switcher, and I'll be able to add a secondary camera, which will be this Sony A6300. So I'm able to get like a face cam during tonight's event. So I'll have a shoulder camera with the X3000, and then I'll have a face camera using this. Now let's get that just a bit tightened down. How are you, Cliff, by the way? Anything new? Anything exciting? Dual wielding, yeah. Hopefully, if I can get this running, otherwise it will just be single camera mode with the Sony X3000, which isn't, you know, which is not bad. But if I can dual wield with a face camera as well to get my reaction during tonight's event, I think we'll be we'll add it to the stream. You just had dinner? Oh, what was for dinner, by the way? What did you have for dinner? Please tell. Please tell. Whilst I was getting these equipment from the camera store, I decided to stop over at Jollibee and just get myself a quick snack. Sort of like a double cheeseburger, if you were to want to compare it to McDonald's. All right, let's see here. Let's install this. Can we install it upside down? No, don't install it upside down. Let's just install once. Okay, so kind of have a micro HDMI to full-size HDMI adapter installed here, and it's secured, so it's not going to be wobbling all over the place and potentially causing any damage to the port itself. I've also had to purchase a battery for this camera because I didn't bring batteries for this camera. Now, this is a third-party battery. This is, I believe, from Ulanzi. This particular battery is the FW50, but this battery can be charged by USB Type-C. So it's quite handy to have. So I had to buy this because I didn't bring a battery with me, and I was I was planning on buying a official Sony battery, but the cost of that compared to this was a third of the price, and I was able to buy 3 of these. So, all right. So we have, yeah. Okay, cool. Excuse me. Nice indeed. Yes. All right. Next step is, again, because it is a very dimly lit area, I bought myself a light. This is a Ulanzi light, also USB powered. Okay, like that. And I think that's enough to provide some, to provide just enough lighting to the face, because this is what this particular camera is going to be used for, a face camera. And it'll be like that. I might just take off the hood. So I'll just use it like this. I'll have a handle on the camera, but essentially this is essentially what will be. And I think there are, yep, multiple levels. Hold down, done. All right. Now, deciding whether or not how to hold this, either with my existing selfie stick, but it's very flimsy on here, as this isn't designed for something as heavy as this. So I might just pull the base off. And just put foot to the base of this camera. Have it just literally as a handle, and just have it pointing at me like this. So everything's sort of in one system. So the only problem now is the cable. Because of the way that this adapter has been installed, the cable is now facing upwards. If I'm able to somehow get this adapter facing either downwards or backwards, that will aid in how we can loop the cable to the rest of the gear. But it's going to be in my left hand while I'm holding it, so yeah. All right, so we have camera, we have a micro HDMI adapter to then attach a full-size HDMI, and we have a light. DJ Reminisce, welcome on in. Also tuning in from YouTube, welcome in. Hope you're doing well, man. Hope you are doing well. I'm just getting some gear prepped to use for tonight's event. I am going with a group to go see a, I wouldn't call it an escape room. It's a walkthrough spooky type. It's a walkthrough spooky house. So in the since it's still in the Halloween season, even though it's a brand new month, we're going to do this. Now, another thing that I've just realized is I don't know if I wanted to bring my wireless microphone. This YouTube guy. I hope you're doing well, DJ Reminisce. Good, nice. All right, let's see. So I brought a couple of HDMI adapters. So this is a U-Green 2-meter cable, only because I didn't bring. So everything, aside from the main camera, I've had to purchase here. So this particular spooky house does allow, there is a ticket tier, there is a higher tiered ticket that allows you to take photos and cameras and video during the run. So that's what we've purchased, and I'm gonna try and live stream as well, because technically, if you're recording, then there's no, I guess, not that much difference in live streaming at the same time. All right, let's see. Yo, deadly! Yeah. But the limiting factor is how good or bad the internet is. So we're going to figure that out. So this is a U-grain, fairly thick, 2-meter HDMI cable. So the intent is to have both cameras tethered to the switcher. So if I include that to here, then how do I have any zip ties? I don't think I bought any zip ties. It is chunky, yes. I didn't realize how chunky it is until I saw it. So hooray! Hooray to me, I guess. Hooray! Okay, let's see. So I don't have any zip ties. So I might need like hella Velcro, which I don't think I've got either. Shit. Okay, let's see. Let's see what I can yank off from another. Oh, yep, I can use that one. Nice. Deadly, hope you're doing well. Bro. Nothing much. Later tonight, we are doing an event where we're going to be walking through a spooky house, and the event itself has allowed with higher costing, has allowed for photos and video cameras to be used within the walkthrough. How about yourself, Deadly? When are you back? When are you back? Scalping. Nice. Alright, I'm just trying to get this bloody Velcro started so we can at least have some kind of a hard connection. Oof, that's gonna hurt. That's gonna really hurt. Just working some overlays on ChatGPT. Nice. Back Tuesday. Nice. I will be back probably November, if I remember correctly, November 18th, I think. And then on the 20th, I've got a photo booth gig. So it's literally non-stop for me. Fuck it. Let's just loop around. All right, so that should be enough. So here we have a A6300 with a 60mm lens, along with a HDMI, micro HDMI to full-size HDMI adapter, a LED light, and oh, we don't want it pulsing, and a chunky, very chunky HDMI cable. All right. Alright, so that's done. So this will connect into here. It will probably connect to HDMI B. Or A. No, it might have to connect to A. Yeah, I have to connect to A. I brought along one adapter, but I don't know where I've actually put it, so please wait for me. Got it. All right. Yep, due to the thickness. No, I could put it lower. Maybe not. Maybe not. Okay, fine. So I am working a little bit quicker because the event's actually tonight. And if I can get this sorted out now, then yeah, shit. Okay, that's not working. Let's undo this. Shit. Right, can't really dabble too much, so I'm gonna have to pull finger out, start working. No talking. Okay. Bada bing, bada boom. So far, pretty good. In the next 2 weeks, so next week we'll be doing Chinatown, and then the week after that we'll be heading towards Boracay, and then after that I'll be heading towards Japan for literally 3 days to do a surprise visit to a mate who's currently there with their family, so I can surprise him on his birthday. So 1, 2, okay. So now we have, where the fuck did I put it? Now we have the X3000, that will connect to here, but now we need a way to power the X3000. So we will use this white cable, so that will be easier to see. So we need another white cable, which is currently being used, damn it. So this white cable will be used to power this adapter, and we'll have a second cable to provide power to this camera. Shit. Alright, let's just use this just as a cable. Let me use this. Okay, I think that might be it. So we need the second. Oh no, oh no. I've just realized I need more cabling. HDMIs. Which I have. Unfortunately, they might be too thick. Okay, let's plug you into here. Then we need another HDMI. Oh, Jesus. Oh. That plugs into here. And that goes into number 2. power to that. Dang it. Oh wow, there's so much cabling now. Okay, I'm now going to right, so you can put this one over, put this camera over to here, that way it's in frame. Then we can put this camera over to here, so it's still kind of in frame. All right, we're now going to power on the Rock 5A. We'll plug that into the 15 watt one. I'm now going to also now provide power to the video switcher, which should only have to use the USB type A, but I've only got a USB type C cable at the moment, so plug that in. Right, cool. And now let's power on the camera. We'll power on this camera. Now let me just double check to see if we have excuse me, some type of connection that we can test this out with. Excuse me. I've been having this cough. All right, we have two internet connections at the very least to test this out. So I'm going to stop the stream from the Moblin app and switch over to the Rock 5A. Just double checking we have all the correct. The relay server Singapore is yellow, and that's probably the only one currently here that's fastest. All right, good. Let's click start. All right, we have some kind of a picture pushing through. That's good. All right, I'm going to stop the Moblin stream and then switch over. Oh shit. Hang on. Oh, okay. So it looks like this particular it looks like this particular encoder has priority. So I'm able to stream using the A6300 first, or primary, over the top of the. Okay, let me just wait. Okay, I've just stopped the Moblin app from streaming to Bellobox Cloud. So now the Rock 5B Plus is streaming to the Bellobox Cloud on a separate Bellobox Cloud account. I have the A6300 in channel A, and I'll be holding up the X3000 like this. Let's now switch over to the X3000, which I don't know if it will show up until I can see it on preview. And holding. All right, we have now the X3000 on camera as well, and now we should be able to do picture-in-picture with both cameras enabled. Let's see here. Yep, and now we should be able to do side-by-side if I have that set up correctly. All right, cool. We have side by side, and let's go back to the wide-angle shot of the X3000, and then have the A6300 as the picture-in-picture. All right, so essentially this will be most likely the setup for tonight's event. All right, I'm gonna stop this stream now so I can start charging up all the batteries, and I'll switch over back to the Moblin app. Now, I need to get all this to fit into a bag. Let's go back to B, and we need to fit the Rock 5B Plus, the battery, the video switcher into a bag to carry with us for portability's sake. And along with all this extra excess cabling. So yeah, indeed. Okay, let's stop the Rock 5B Plus stream and then switch over to the Moblin app. Okay, we should be back to the Moblin app running on the iPad with the front-facing camera, and we should be able to switch back to the Action 4, which is a tabletop or table angle of the setup. Okay, let's turn that off. Turn that off. Restart. And yeah, so we have one camera, two cameras, video switcher, Rock 5B Plus, and a power bank. Yeah. What do you think of the unlimited IRO receiver? I don't. What is that, by the way? Yeah, and I had to buy half the cabling and stuff from Philippines because I wasn't able to bring it along with me. Unlimited IRO receiver. What's that? What is that? Okay. We've tested it. Everything seems to have worked. So I'm now going to power down everything in preparation for tonight. I've got to add the SD card to that. Okay, so I'm gonna undo that one. Undo that one. All right, let me maybe just have a quick squeeze at what that actually is, because I don't know if I've seen that yet. Was it a recently, is it a recent device, or did they recently announced it? Boom. Boom. Okay. I guess that's fine. Is it a recent announcement, or has it always been around? Okay, let's go. Unlimited IRL. And second of all, how much does it cost? Unlimited IRL receiver. Let's have a quick squeeze. A recent device and announcement. Okay. Pre-order. Unlimited IRO receiver unlocks new input possibilities for creators using the IRO backpack or any HDMI-based encoder. Designed for flexibility, it bridges your wireless and wired sources, connecting action cameras, phones, drones, or mirrorless cameras to your live streaming encoder via UVC or wireless RTMP or SRT. Connect any RTMP enabled source to the receiver's built-in Wi-Fi. So that means you can connect an Action 4 or DJI Pocket 3 or even a GoPro. Outputs full-size HDMI for your encoder. Connects, so you can also connect a USB cabled webcam, and then it will spit out a HDMI signal. Okay. It's powered by USB UVC input. But is this a wireless device, or do you have to physically connect it to your HDMI encoder? How would that work? Output video to the iRaw Backpack, LiveView Solo, or other HDMI-based streaming encoders. Ah, okay. So essentially, this is just a device that converts a USB UVC camera as a HDMI input to your encoder, such as a Bella Box, LiveView Solo, or you can also use it as a ingest receiver, so you can wirelessly send a RTMP or SRT stream from a compatible device to send wirelessly to the receiver. And then that receiver will then output that signal as a HDMI video to be fed into your encoder. So this looks like you can only do one. So it's $299 for a single unit. And from the looks of things, oh, apparently you can support two USB UVC devices. So if you can input two, how do you switch? Or because you can only have one video signal output at any one time. HDMI 1080p 60 or quad view. Oh, so you might be able to push out as a 4K stream or 4K signal and then have multiple 1080p in a single stream. But I haven't actually tried it yet. I don't think my Rock 5B Plus has the ability to accept 4K HDMI. I could be wrong. Okay, I need to look further into it, but as a device that doesn't require a subscription, it is a device that is able to ingest USB tethered cameras or wireless RTMP or SRT. That actually will be quite good, especially if you're using a HDMI based encoder. Now, another thing, range, as well as what or which Wi-Fi are they intending to use? Because from what I understand, Japan doesn't allow for the 5.8 gigahertz band to be run. So how do they get around that? The switching part is what someone in your chat said. So take that with a grain of salt. Yeah, okay. So as a single ingest device, if you don't want to play around with other devices that can convert a USB camera into a HDMI, then this actually might be a good adapter for that purpose. So say you were running a full HDMI based video production switcher, but someone wanted to use a Pocket 3 or an Action 4 or another wireless based RTMP or SRT type camera, but you don't have that as a direct ingest into your HDMI based only setup. With this device, you are able to bridge that gap. So, but again, distance wise, most of the time for the Pocket 3 or the Action 4, it's in terms of its wireless RTMP streaming, you're only limited to, at least with my Wi-Fi adapters, you're only limited to about 10 meters, maybe even 5, because where I have tested it, I've tested it near water. So yeah, maybe not as far near bodies of water, but in a ideal situation, you might be able to get away with probably 10 meters. So if you're at a wedding and you're recording a ceremony, and you aren't able to set up like a big rig because it just takes away from the I guess the moment of the wedding, you could probably set up a pocket 3 in the audience and then have that aimed at the couple or the bridal party, and then that is then wirelessly connected to this receiver, and then that then will convert that stream to HDMI to feed into your HDMI based environment. So in that sense, yes, it could work. Again, in terms of wireless RTMP, it depends on the gain of the antennas inside this receiver to see how far it can actually push it out to. As a device that converts USB to a full-size HDMI, that's actually pretty good, especially if you're using a HDMI-based environment. So, yeah. All right. I think I need to get things ready. Hey Orange, how was Jerry's Grill? Hey, no worries. Yeah, there was quite a bit of dropouts, so it was quite good. It was quite tasty. I got full very quickly because I think we had that late lunch at the Yoki farm as well. After the grill, we went up and had some form of halal, and that was delicious. I didn't consume too much because I didn't know if condensed milk would affect me as badly as other dairy products. So, yeah. But thank you for your concern as well. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna have to quickly. Well, I'm gonna have to end stream at the present moment so I can get ready for tonight's event. So I'll be back later on tonight to do a live stream of a walkthrough through a spooky house. Well, a spooky. So imagine an escape room, but it's all horror based. So, but it's not an escape room. You just walk through and get the shit scared out of you. But anyways, yeah. Thank you again to everyone who's tuned in, and I'll be coming back online in a couple hours or so to continue on with the spooky house walkthrough, and hopefully with my today's acquisition of gear, I should be able to do a multi-camera stream using the Sony a6300 as well as the Sony X3000, because it's a better fit for the type of low light environment that we'll be encountering tonight. Okay, anyways, thank you to everyone who's tuned in, and I'll see you guys later. Yeah, hopefully later tonight, and yeah. All right, see you guys. Where the fuck is it? Oh, ending.